a community in a very positive tone.
Well, you're going to start this time and we'll come down this way. 2 minutes. What are your
Ideas on how we can best grow and prosper as a community in a positive way?
Every small rural town in northern Illinois is fighting for its survival. And it's up to us to figure out how we can stay alive. High-speed internet was one. For long term, Mike Risco, myself, Bob Watson, Lou Schau, and other dedicated individuals have started the Mount Carroll Community Foundation. For long term, as that foundation money grows, that foundation money will be dispersed to noble and good causes. As far as having the community grow, we have to market a community like you would a city. I'm sorry, like you would a business. Marketing is essential. Why would people move out here? It's not necessarily for business reasons. It's going to have to be for the quality of life issues. I think marketing and Mount Carroll, like you would a business, will help it a lot. Thank you.
I think we need to bring in some new businesses and, bring in the younger kids, bring in, industry to Mount Carroll, bring in revenue. We need to start spending our money wisely. The city needs to help the businesses come into the community. Thank you.
We need jobs. I think we should be working to find that possibility to bring jobs into it. I think we need to keep our city beautiful, clean, attract people here, and work with our businesses to keep them growing. We're lucky to have a grocery store. There's many small towns that don't have a grocery store. We are so fortunate. And we are fortunate to have the businesses that we have. Thank you.
Could I have you repeat the question, please?
Yes. What are your ideas on how we can best grow and prosper as a community in a positive tone?
Well, a good way to grow the community is to go ahead and focus on the things that we have going for us right now. We need to focus on the good things and hope that that will help us grow and improve on those. Right now we've got a group of businesses in the downtown area that are committed to doing more, both to grow their business and for the community. They've been bringing in a nice number of new people into the community on a weekly and sometimes nightly basis. I think we need to encourage those businesses when they want to do their special events downtown, festivals and what have you. The more we can do with them, the more people that is going to bring into the community, the more people that brings in to our local businesses, the more tax dollars we raise, which can then hopefully offset the cost to the individual taxpayer. And another thing that we do need to do is to focus on bringing new businesses to town.
All right, Mr. Knight.
I think community activities and projects are very important to keep the momentum going. You look at the car crews and look at the people coming downtown. A few years ago there was nothing going downtown. It's nice to see people coming out on a warm night and walking around and walking through the shops and checking the downtown. And that helps support those businesses that are here. If we don't support those businesses, they dry up because they can't make it. So having activities like the cruise night, Mayfest, having a project where the community, there was a lot of volunteer help that worked on this building. Those get people energized, and when people see other people energized, hey, I want to fix my building up, or I want to do this project, it gets going. I mean, you look at what's going on down at the corner at Charlie's there. There's an activity happening. There was really nothing going on for the past few years. Now somebody's trying to have some activities, have bands, have something for you to go out to. Because really on a Saturday evening, what was there to do in town? You went to Savannah or to Clinton to go to a movie. Have a band, it gives you something to do without leaving town, spending your money here, putting the taxes back into here. So I think that's important to keep the spark going.
We're doing it. We're doing everything right. We're growing. We support our businesses. Things are looking good. But we're running for city council. The city council has to support these organizations that are doing this work. The CDC, the guys that bring businesses in, they talk to people. They help this building become what it is. They help other businesses get started. We, the council, have to support the CDC. People are saying you're wasting your money. That's a waste of money. I don't believe that. They give back much more money to this community than we give them. If you just look at the sales tax revenue that we got, that's because these businesses are doing better. And we give them a few bucks, and they get back to the city a ton of bucks. And this money that we get back in sales tax revenue isn't coming out of your taxes, and we can use that to improve our infrastructure, and we really need that. This building here probably put $700,000 into the community, spent on getting it to where it is. It came from loans, a lot of private contributions, but they're spending the money and giving it back to the community. The stone house, it was stabilized, $50,000 of private donations. This is the CDC. We, the council, have to support these organizations that support the community.
All right, Percy.
I've been a member of the Mount Carroll Land Club for 47 years. And our club has done everything, more or less a lot of things in town. This summer alone, we're going to spend over $75,000 down the park on playground equipment. $75,000. So we get people coming in to see this, and keep our yards up at night. That's all we got to have. Bring the people in. Mount Carroll Land Club will do that.
A lot of the ideas that you've heard from the people before me can be pulled together. Doug touched on it, the idea of a marketing plan. We need to get people to come here, first of all, to spend some money, but secondly, to find out who we are and to see what great opportunities there are here for recreation and maybe even a place to put a second home or a retirement home. But that plan has got to be something that reaches out further than just to local communities, because people who live in Chadwick or who live in Stockton may come to visit, but they're not going to settle here. So this plan has to be much more creative. It has to be something that reaches out to communities in the suburbs, perhaps, where people have money to spend and have the need at a point in the future start looking for another place to settle. So my suggestion is, or something that I would suggest, is that we need to start making connections in suburban communities. Maybe we need to start putting together relationships, develop relationships with organizations, maybe Lions organizations, or maybe school or alumni organizations that are in the suburbs. We need to talk about things in specifics, details, not just in generalities, but I think it can be done. It's something that's just waiting to happen. Thanks.
All that comes to mind for me is, I know, and I believe all of you know, this is one of the coolest small towns in America. And we just need to convince a few other people to come and live in our vacant homes that we have that will help in one aspect. So many of the other ideas are certainly going to help as well, but that was what came to mind for me.
Mayor
try this thing again. It has been repeated, but the thing is, we didn't get here without doing a lot of things that everybody said we should be doing. We're already doing it. The CDC, the chamber has a marketing plan, and they're doing a great job. I mean, these things don't happen just because, hey, we're having a meeting and tomorrow it happens. That's not how it works. One thing that people didn't mention, and you know, there's the Campbell Center, and everybody, you know, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, the Campbell Center, beautiful property, some decisions that maybe we don't all agree with, but it is an asset to the community to have it, and the program they have, the amount of people that they bring through that visit our town and come back. And I feel that maybe that's something the chamber has to work with to market with them. Those people stay here, they come downtown, they eat at the restaurants, that's another market. They go home, and they might come back and visit. Maybe they do come back and buy a second home or in the country and come to town and use our restaurants. I think the chamber's done a great job of marketing downtown and our community. Bob's done a great job marketing his grocery store. You know, that he's got competition around with becoming Mount Carroll. Everybody knows he's got a nice store out there, and it's an asset to this. You know, the CDC helped with signs out by Timberlake, or out by Lake Carroll. They show them which direction to come to Mount Carroll. Did they help? I don't know. The signs were $500. Business is up. I think it was a good idea. You know, it's marketing. It's marketing that has to happen. It doesn't. We just don't wake up and go, tomorrow we're going to be better. We've been better the whole time. Every day is a better day. Not that we don't fall backwards once in a while, but every day is a better day. And it's about moving that positive attitude forward to make Mount Carroll and Carroll County a better place for all of us to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. What was the question again?
Oh, I forgot.
You know it.
What do you say?
I think I got the question.
Oh, good.
I have to agree
Other
with,
questions.
I have to agree with everybody up here, and you all have about the same idea. The idea is to bring people to Mount Carroll. But the people that are here, let's buy your drugs over here and don't go to Walgreens. Let's shop at Hathaway store, not Walmart. Let's go over here and shop at Pulis and maybe even go down and shop at Carroll instead of going to the city. So we each can have an impact here by spending. Buy your gas out there at Ozzy's. Spend your money in Mount Carroll.
Okay. Now, as I always say at the end of a certain thing, let's clap one more time. You're having a good time, but I'm having a ball. We have every candidate who's running here tonight. Isn't that great? I tell you. Now, here's what we've got. These are questions from the audience. Now, if you were a bad boy or girl, they wouldn't have given me your card. So, and I don't know who you're from, but let's start off. We're not going to start off with the mayors. To all candidates, and what do you think? A minute? A minute at the longest. Do any of the candidates have experience in a financial setting, such as account manager or a position dealing with fund accounting? If you do, raise your hand, please, and I'll call on you. Okay, well, we'll start with Doris down there.
For 17
You want to
years,
stand so they can hear you, honey?
for 17 years, I worked for 12-Hour Elevator as their bookkeeper. I took accounting classes. I'm also the treasurer for the Carroll County Democrats, and I report to the State Board of Elections.
Thank you. Who's next? Down there. All right. That's James, isn't it?
Joe.
Well, my
I've been
age.
called worse. Since 2007, I've been the animal control officer for Carroll County, and with that position, I have to prepare and maintain a budget each year, stay within that, and then I report to the county board each month on what I've spent and all that. That's, I guess, the closest thing that I have.
Okay. Who's next? Mike Briscoe.
I elaborated a little bit about what I did as a federal employee, but that was throughout my careers in the military and as a federal employee. I was a money manager. I did a lot of that. And I think the important part of money management and looking at budgets and doing budgets is the experience you glean from that. You can have a bunch of education, but if you don't know how to look at financial records, if you don't understand financial records, it's very difficult. So financial experience is an important thing, and it's a good question.
All right. You want to do this, Percy?
Oh, I tell you, all the years with Interstate Power, I did bookkeeping and all the paperwork and stuff with Interstate Power in my business.
Who's phone? Answer it. Whoever this down. All right. Nina.
I worked in the financial industry for 30 years. I managed major portfolios overseas and in the United States. I've had my own business since 1995, so I have experience doing payroll and budgeting and so on. As the president of a national not-for-profit organization, I did financial planning for that to grow it from a startup to a thriving organization.
Thank you. Julie, how about you? You work with it every day.
I work
don't you?
with it every
Yeah.
day. I have for 28 years, and dealt with 5 auditing firms that we provide information to for the city of Mount Carroll, and we also provide the information to the city council. So I've been it all my career.
Thank you. All right, Mayor?
Prior to being mayor, I was the finance chair as an alderman for 3 years, and then also treasurer of the Northern Illinois Mayor's Association.
Right, and how about you, Robert?
What was the question again?
Okay, I've got it right here. Have all of, no, darn it.
Something to do with accounting.
Yeah. Do any of the candidates have experience in a financial setting such as accounting manager or a position dealing with fund accounting?
No.
Okay. Love his honesty, don't you? Okay. Now,
Excuse me, Benita, may I say something?
yes.
I didn't answer the question. In my job, I help oversee a $1.4 million, believe it or not, TIF budget, plus a $400,000 BDD budget. Plus I had my own business for 26 years, and I understand what a budget is for, and I understand how you can work a budget to work on your behalf. Thank you.
All right, this is going to be a yes or no questions, and you don't have to stand. This is council in a whole. Will our council members be more willing to stick within the boundaries of our city's budget? We'll start down here with you. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, Nina?
Of course.
Yes.
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 Definitely.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, well, that was another question. All right. Carl B. All right, Mayor, have all of the TIF monies had payments made towards,
You want me to read it?
yes, it's hard to read the writing, to be honest with you, so see what you
If you can read Julie's, I might got a shot at this one.
Sorry, Peter.
It says, have all the TIF monies had payments made towards the loans, and who is responsible to pay back when they are due? There's a TIF agreement by ordinance. When we have an agreement with a business or a partner for the TIF funds, it's by ordinance on how the payments would be paid. The loan that I'm sure that this is talking about is probably the building we're standing in. And the TIF agreement is interest only, and they're supposed to pay whatever the increment difference is. So let's just pick a number, because this is really pretty easy math when we talk about it in pretty numbers. Let's just say this building paid $1,000 in property tax before it was all, you know, then it burned, it was $1,000 bucks. Now there's a lot of money in this building, and let's just say the property taxes are now $2,000. The difference is the increment. That $1,000 difference, not the $2,000, the $1,000 difference.
Oh, we like doing it to you, Mayor, so.
I didn't answer the question.
Do you want to finish?
That $1,000 bucks goes into the tip. The tip, that $1,000 bucks would make the payment. Sorry.
That's all right, we're sorry. I can see why they couldn't find a moderator. Okay, incumbents only. How do you keep in contact with your constituents? Where and what methods have you used? Now, I'm not sure who the incumbents are. I think Doris, you're probably the first one there, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got it?
Actually, I spent enough time downtown and here at the Craft Building, and I know quite a few people who live in Ward 1, and I know quite a few people who don't live in Ward 1, that they don't hesitate to make recommendations and give me their opinions. And it's an enlightening experience, and I end up talking to a lot of people every week. Thank you.
Doris?
I get quite a few calls, and not just from my ward, but from all the people in Mount Carroll. And I'm easily accessible because I do work for Bob Hathaway at Shaw. So I see a lot of people every day. But anyone I think feels comfortable to call me at any time, and which they have.
Mike Risco.
I view my constituents as everyone in the community. And I feel I'm out there enough. I'm in a Rotary Club. I've managed a beer tent for them during Mayfest and drunk a lot of beer with you guys.
You're a fisherman.
Right. Go fishing. I write grants for the Rotary Club. And I'm with the Knights of Columbus. There's a lot of things I'm out there. I was a co-founder of the Mount Carroll Community Foundation. All these things were out there touching people. I'm with the Ministerial Association. I'm working with Mile of Coins program that we have and the Giving Tree. Out there touching all the businesses. So I'm easy to find.
All right, the next incumbent. Neither one of you. All right. Yes.
I am the point of contact at the City Hall as well as our staff. We're open 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Certainly everyone knows that and uses that venue as well. So, and I've had the same phone number since 1970, I don't know, and everybody else knows that too, and it's in the phone book, so they certainly use that aspect as well.
I'm City Hall a lot. Julie and I talk every day, and people are calling me there. They call me at home. They call my cell phone. They'll look me up. I'm downtown regularly. I'm around all the time. If people aren't afraid to talk to me, I'm not afraid to talk to people. Even people that don't live here, I'm not afraid to walk up to them, and I never walk up and start a conversation while I'm the mayor. I walk up as I'm a person of Mount Carroll, and we talk about Mount Carroll. Thank you.
Are you an incumbent?
Yes, am I incumbent?
No, you know what, it's all right. No, you get to, now let me tell you. All of the candidates, how do you plan to keep in contact with your constituents if you are elected?
Well, I'm retired. I circulate around town. I know almost everybody in town. I get calls from every ward. I respond to every call. I'm at the city hall at the meetings, people come there and they see that I'm there. I write letters asking questions. Thank you.
Oh, you've got more time if you want.
How many time? How much time?
Oh, you've got 37 seconds.
That's good. I forgot to ask a question.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
How many plans do you do?
Well, I plans, I talk to people at the grocery store, I talk to people at the gas station, I come downtown here, and I talk to people at the pharmacy center, talk to people over here, the courthouse. I have several people in my family that work there, so I feel comfortable going in there, talking with them. And I will be available for anybody to call me. I will answer their question.
All right, Nina, how do you plan to keep in contact with your constituents if you are elected?
I've said to you that well, maybe I didn't, maybe I got cut off of my original comments. I've been working with technology for a long time. The reason that I came to Mount Carroll was because I was writing a financial advisory letter, and it's been circulated over the internet. So I know a lot about computers and internet and websites and all that sort of stuff. So if I'm elected to the clerk, one of the things that I want to do is expand the use of our website. There's a great opportunity using that and social media to get information out, to field questions, to be able maybe to do some additional types of transactions, to post more information about what's actually going on in City Hall. I think that's a real simple way for people to make contact without having to leave their homes. Do it over their smartphone, right? It's really easy that way.
Thank you. All right. Now I've got, for the two mayoral candidates, I have another question.
Hold on, not done.
Oh, I know. Oh, my, Percy, did I forget you? Please.
All of us. All of us.
First off, my telephone number is 8532. You can call me anytime. I'm all for Mount Carroll. Anytime, 8532.
All right.
My phone number's also in the book, plus I would, if elected, I'd provide an email address if anybody would want to email. I prefer to do it that way. My wife can always track me down. She knows where I'm hiding. So, but I'd be open to any questions, anytime, any concerns.
I do not have a phone number that's listed in the phone book. I just would like to say, though, if elected, I will make public my email address. I'm going to try to reach out to constituents in my ward prior to the election. In doing that, I will give them my cell phone number, and then at that point, anybody can contact me with questions. I also want to use to my advantage social media and put that out there as a way for constituents to contact me as well.
Thank you. I too, like Joe, I do not have a phone. I have a cell phone now. That way my phone is always with me if anybody needs to get a hold of me. We had a phone for like 40 years, and just about 6 months ago we're like, let's go to cell phones. People can call us wherever we're at. So I'd be willing to give my phone number out. And I probably know 100% of people in Mount Carroll. Probably there isn't nobody I don't know. I've been here all my life. Like my husband says, don't send her to the grocery store. She's not coming back for an hour. Because I always run into somebody I know and I'm talking away. So I'm out there. They can call me. Thank you.
Okay, I have two questions for the mayoral candidates. And the first one, we'll let the mayor go first, and then the second one, you'll go first. Okay. Questions for both mayoral candidates. If elected mayor, what would be your first direction to bring this community, which
did I forget?
Oh, yeah, but he's yes, it's all right. Excuse us, you know, we're having our little, whatever, rendezvous or whatever. It's okay. If elected mayor, what would be your first direction to bring this community back to a positive, united environment?
That's really pretty easy. It's the same thing as kind of where we've been. You know, it's an open door instead of having separate meetings and talking about things. Come to City Hall, let's open stuff up, let's look at it. You got a question, let's ask it. You know, and that's always been that way, but it seems that we don't want to do it that way. The door's open, let's look at the books. You want to look at something, got a question, let's look at it. And that's the way it should be, that's the way it has been, and you know, I get a little grief for not doing it that way. I must be doing something wrong. The door's always open, come on in.
Thank you. Now, Robert, if elected mayor, what would be your first directive to bring this community back to a positive, united environment?
Well, I can say ditto to the mayor's comments and be available to talk individually with each and every council member. I want to point out that some of this dissension that came about, I offered to speak about these issues with the finance chair, with anybody on the finance committee. They did not elect to come and talk to me about it.
Well, I'm glad you're sitting down. And you're such a nice guy. I'm going to make an argument out of it. All right, now you have this question to answer first. For the mayor candidates, what's the future of fixing the city streets?
Well, there's a number of streets that need fixed. I think the priorities, first is to make a priority list. East Benton Street, Broadway Street, Mill Street. This is going to take a lot of money that we don't get in great quantities from the motor fuel tax, which can be used for it. I think that we need to entertain the idea of borrowing some money, maybe on a 10-year plan, to go all out and fix the street.
Thank you. Okay, now, your turn. Yes.